Hi, Al Smith here. This mini lesson is about how to count losers using ace, king, queen method. It's a very useful technique that's used later on as a building block in what's called a losing trick count system. This differs from counting points and so forth in that you use losing trick counts. I like a mixture of counting points and losing tricks. Okay, it's also used in what's called the 2-3-4 system. And it's really not a bidding system, but it's a methodology for determining what level you can safely bid to or force your partner to bid to based upon vulnerability. 2-3-4 is the only thing that I have encountered that helps you evaluate, incorporate vulnerability into the bidding system. I find very useful, especially in shape-based hands. There's a separate lesson totally that addresses only the 2-3-4 system later on. Okay, it's used to help quantify unbalanced hands, okay, where points are really not a good measure of a hand's strength. For example, if you've got 13 spades, you only have 10 points, but you've got 13 tricks. Okay, there's a gross disparity between 13 tricks and 10 high card points. So, what the losing trick becomes a building block to help you try to quantify the strength of a hand based upon its shape. Okay, it's also, don't look at it as a replacement for point count system, but as a complement to the point count system. It's always better to have two metrics to evaluate the strength of your hand. That way you can look at it from the one side in terms of points, from the other side in terms of hand shape, and gives you a much better appreciation of what you should bid and the level that you should potentially go to. Okay, it's using the method, it's a very simple technique. Now, what we do is we evaluate the cards of each suit, and we count as initial losers. We only evaluate the top three cards in each suit. Okay, we count anything that's 4, 5, 6 or more in a suit as winners, not as losers. So we're only looking at the top three cards, and we count each of the top three cards in the suit that is not an ace, king, or queen as a loser. And now we've got to look at hands where we don't have three cards in the suit. I mean, suits where we don't have three cards in it. If you have a singleton queen, count it as a loser. If you have a queen X doubleton, count it as two losers. Probably not going to be able to take any tricks with that. If you have a singleton king, I like to count this as a winner. I'm more aggressive in terms of my bidding. So, it's up to you. It's up to your style. You can count it as a loser or you can count it as a winner. I recommend that you count it as a winner. I like to err on the side of being a little bit more aggressive than passive. Okay, now if you count the king X, if you've got a king X doubleton, okay, count it as a loser. Don't count that king as a loser, but count the X as a loser. So you're going to count that as one loser also. All right. Now, like points, you're going to continuously adjust your number of losers based on what your partner and the other players bid. Okay, after your partner bid, if your partner bids a new suit, okay, what your partner is saying is they've got something in it. You're going to assume they have the ace, king, or queen. So, what you're going to do is you're going to decrease your loser count by 1 if you have the queen or the queen X or the queen with 2 or 3 to 1. It centers around the queen. Okay, so if you've got the queen, decrease your number of losers by 1. Let's say you started out and you had 7 losers, make it 6. Okay, if your partner passes, okay, increase your number of losers by 1 because your partner is in essence denying having enough strength to bid. So let's go. You start out with 5 losers. You open 1 heart. Your opponent goes past. Your partner passes. Okay. increase the number of losers because your partner doesn't have more than 5 points. Okay? Now, that's a way of upgrading and downgrading your hand. Okay, so you got the example here. You're looking at hard point, pass, pass. So you're going to add 1 loser. Okay, the opponent bids spades, and you persist. You got a really strong hand. You upgrade. You rebid your suit. Your partner passes again. Add another loser. So if you started out with 6, this took it to 7. This took it to 8. Now, if you start when you get to use this later in the 2, 3, 4 system and so forth, it will tell you whether you bid too high. Now, if the left-hand opponent bids a suit, that's the person behind you, you're going to increase the number of losers in your hand, just like you do for points with any of these holdings. The king X, the three with the king, king queen, the queen jack. But you're not going to do it for the queen jack X or the queen X because you've already adjusted for those. So after the right-hand opponent bids, you're not going to do anything because you really can't judge anything in the impact on losers. So let's take a look at a couple of examples here just to get into the habit of being able to count those losers. Okay, and we're going to count the losers in the initial hand that they're initially in a hand. So in this hand, we have 12 high card points and 13 light points. Okay, in spades, we've got the ace, king, queen, ace, king, 5. So because we have the 5, that's not a queen, we're going to count it as 1 loser. In hearts, we have queen, 10, 8. Okay, we're missing the ace, king. We do have the queen, so we're going to count that as 2. Here, we're missing the ace, queen. We count that as 2. We have the 9, 2 of clubs, that's 2. So we have a total of 7 losers. Now, we have 7 losers, both 12 high card points. Let's look at another example. We have 14 high card points and 14 late points. Yeah, these are about the same. This hand should be a little bit stronger, right? Well, in this hand, we have 2 spade losers. We have 2 heart losers. We have 2 diamond losers. And we have 2 club. We have 1 club loser. We've got the ace queen. So we've got a total of 7 losers. So there's comparability between these 2 hands, even though this one's got 14 high card points and this has got 7. So you can start to see how counting the number of losers helps balance out or to measure the difference between these hands and gives you a little bit more insight into how strong your high card points are. Let's look at the third example. In this one, we've got 12 high card points and 12 blank points. Right? So yeah, it's about the same as these others, but you get a little bit weaker. And we can start counting losers. We have 2 in spades, 3 in hearts, 2 in diamonds, and 2 in clubs. So we have a total of 9 losers. Okay, so as you can see, you've probably heard the phrase aces and spaces. This hand qualifies for that description. And you can see the effect is on the loser count is that we've got 2 more losers in this hand with 12 high card points than this hand over here on the left with 12 high card points. So you can see there's quite a bit of difference between these 2 hands when we look at it from the perspective of losers. And so this is just another method of quantifying your strength of your hand and getting and developing a true assessment of what its capabilities are. Thank you for participating in the mini lesson. We hope that this has been beneficial.